Hello there. I realized that I did a plein air adventure a while back and didn't even tell you what was in my little micro kit that I was carrying. So I thought it would be a fun idea to go through that for you, because the last time I showed you that micro kit, which is what I keep in my car so that I'm ready at all times, it was well over a year ago, and I have changed everything that is in there now. So I thought it would be fun to go through that and show you what could be helpful to keep in a little kit that you can keep in your car at the ready. Alright, so here's my tiny little micro kit, I like to call it. It is small enough to just grab with one hand and go. It makes it super convenient. It has this Star Wars print on it of droids, which I think is pretty cool, including the R2-D2 zipper pull there, which is absolutely adorable. But you open it up, and here is the sketchbook here. It is tiny. It is about a probably 4x5. This is a Hanamula cotton sketchbook, 100% cotton. I just love those sketchbooks. I get them in different sizes. It has a Danger Mouse sticker on it. That, of course, does not come standard. Danger Mouse was one of my heroes growing up, so that's why it's there. Nice little Gen X reference for you anyway. And then of course there's the statue that I did the other day. It is pretty small, but it still allows you a little bit of room to sketch. I have this Gorilla Painter composition finder. It is made out of cardboard, so it doesn't take up very much room, but you can point it at your subject, and you can change this to the size of your paper, and it helps to really tune out all the noise around you. All of your periphery stuff can start to be really confusing. So this helps to zero in on your composition and you know, help you determine the boundaries of your composition. It's got values on the side, it's got color complements on this side, you've got all your measurements on the back so you can see what size your paper is, Fibonacci, spiral, all that kind of stuff. It's super helpful and doesn't take up much room. There is this, you saw in the last video if you watched it. It is a plastic palette that I got off of Etsy, and it is great for needing more room to mix, because as you will see shortly, I do not have any room in my little paint kit for that. Of course, I always have shop towels with me. You've got to have paper towels of some kind, I think, whenever you paint. I have this little silicone collapsible water cup. I usually only collapse it to about that size right there, because the farther you pull it up, the more unstable it is, because it's kind of floppy too, you know. So I usually don't bring it up all the way, but it collapses really flat, which makes it work really well in this set. I think I got that off Amazon. You have your extremely tiny little spray bottle for re-wetting your paints. And then I'm just going to bring out all my little drawing implements and things. All of the other stuff. Okay. So you have your pencil sharpener, of course, that has it catches your shavings for you. You have a clip to keep your paper from buckling and or to keep it from blowing around in the wind. Number 2 pencil. This is an R2-D2 pencil. I still have several of those that I got from a box of Valentines, and I'm going to use them until I use them all up. I have a water-soluble graphite pencil. This is a Staedtler Mars Lumograph 4B, in case I want to do a value study that's somewhat watercolory. I have a fine liner. This is a Micron 05, in case I want to do some line and wash. I have a white Posca brush pen for highlights, adding all that back in. I have a Pentel Click eraser and a Tombow Mono Zero tiny little eraser for the tiny little details. Those both come in very handy. A hair tie, of course, for when it gets hotter than Hades, as it always is in the summer in Oklahoma, of course. or when your hair is blowing in your face and you can't take it, because Oklahoma is also extremely windy. You know, wind sweeping down the plains and all that kind of thing. I have a water brush for in case I do not have a water cup or a water source. And then, you know, various travel brushes. I just added, this is a number 6, that's a flat, small one. I haven't been able to find very many flat travel brushes. This one is a Richardson Gray Matters. It's a 1/4 inch. It's not very flat, but I guess it works better than nothing. This one I just added, it's a number 2. And this is how these work. You just pull them out and turn them around, and then you've got a full-size brush. I did not have a brush that was small enough for the details on that statue, so I added this one in there recently, and that should help immensely because of how small that little sketchbook is. And then the last but certainly not least is, of course, my little paint kit. It is absolutely tiny. It's micro-sized, and I'd say it's about 2.5 by 2 inches. I got this from one of my local art supply stores. I think I've also seen them on Amazon, but you usually have to buy several of them at once. But you open it up and you can, and they're usually empty, and you can put whatever paint you want to in here. I loaded it with Winsor & Newton Professional because I switched from that to Daniel Smith because of how much more easily Daniel Smith re-wets. But I didn't want to waste all that paint, so I loaded it into here, and you know, whenever I use all that up, I'm sure I will load it with Daniel Smith instead. See, there's not very much mixing space right there, so that is why I have this one over here, and that works really well. I did used to have those little cardboard paints that has, like, you know, it's just like a little cardboard set, and there's like ink on it, and you pick up the ink from that and use it as your paint. But that did not work very well for me. I didn't like the way that those things worked, so I just decided to load it up with this, and that has worked really well for me. So that is my tiny little set that I keep in my car at all times in case I want to jump out and paint plein air or urban sketch or whatever to my little heart's desire. And there you have it. I hope that was helpful for if you want to make your own little micro kit for your car. But I did forget to show you one thing that I always keep in my car, and that is one of these things. This is a lap desk where you can just sit it on your lap. It's got these foam balls on the back, and then you can have a hard surface for if you want to like paint inside your car and just look at something outside. If it's too hot or if it's raining or something like that, you can keep that in your car so that you can put your sketchbook and your water and all that on top of it and have a hard surface rather than trying to balance all that stuff on your surfaces in your car, which is very difficult. I've tried it. So there's the final little piece to that puzzle. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share all of that fun stuff, because that's how this channel gets to grow. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again in 2 weeks.